The most important thing you can do for your leather is routine maintenance and care. The Fenice Leather Care Kit provides some products for you to maintain your leather, as well as solve some emergencies that can happen. Here is a normal pigmented leather, which is very common. A pigmented leather has a top coat on it, which adds some protection and seals the colour inside the leather. Here we've got some grounded dirt on the leather. Let's show you how to remove it with Fenice Leather Cleaner. Just apply the cleaner to a sponge and work it into the leather. Then wipe away any excess. After you're done, you need to re-protect the leather. Some may ask, why do I need to protect this type of leather, as it already has a protective finish on it? Well, that can be illustrated with an ink mark. This side here we treat with a Fenice leather protector. This side we don't. Let's place a mark over here on the unprotected side, and let's place one here on the protected side. Now what we'll try to do is remove this with just using the cleaner. The best thing to do is to use the least aggressive method first. We've actually removed most of the ink already. Now we can see what happens on the unprotected side. It's really not budging the ink at all. We're going to have to use Fenice ink remover to get it out. You want to apply it directly to the mark, and you'll see the ink start to dissolve. It's always best to pre-test this in a hidden area to make sure the leather's colour fast. If the ink remover removes colour from the leather, you should discontinue use. The effectiveness of the ink remover depends upon how long the ink has been on there. It's designed to remove fresh ink. Ink that has been on there for a long time has probably penetrated into the leather and therefore very difficult to remove. You may be able to remove a percentage of the ink, but not all of it. As a final step, you want to use the leather cleaner to remove any of the excess ink remover. Then you would dry the leather and apply the leather protector to give the leather a protective finish. After you clean, it's always best to re-protect the leather. Now we can illustrate the protection. It's much easier to show it on an unfinished leather. This is an aniline leather. Now what we're going to do is protect the bottom half of the leather, and we'll see how the protection effect actually works. We're going to apply oil to the leather here. Oil is probably one of the most difficult stains to protect against. You can see what happens when you apply the oil to the leather here. It soaks right in. It's making a large stain. Here we've protected the leather. You have the ability to clean it up. It's beading up on top. See how effective the protection is? This piece of new book is heavily soiled and in quite a bad state. We're going to take the products in the Fenice New Book Care Kit and show you how to take care of this. First, take the reviving sponge and see if you can brush away any excess dirt. That's helped it a little bit. Now you want to take the New Book Cleaner, which is a foam cleaner. You can apply it by sponge or directly on the leather. Take your sponge and work it into the stain. You can see the sponge is getting quite dirty. If you've got a clean cloth, try to blot it. Now we'll use a hairdryer and dry the stain. It looks like we've made a big mess here, but you'll see when it dries that the stain will be gone and the leather will be fine. In feeling it, we've lost some of the nubuck effect, and it looks like it's a bit darker. What's happened is similar to a golf glove when it's worn and you sweat and you hang it on the back of the golf bag. You notice that it becomes hard and it shrinks. As soon as you put your hand inside of it, the glove is soft again. I can do the same thing by stretching on the leather here, but when it's on a sofa, you can't do that. So you take the reviving sponge and you actually just work it in on the leather. As you can see, it renews the tracking effect and the feel, and the stain has gone. Look at the contrast from before. After removing the stain, the best thing to do is to re-protect with a nubuck protector. With nubuck leathers, preventive maintenance is the key. Here is a quick demonstration of the difference between protected and unprotected nubuck leather. First, you pump the canister. It's an air canister and doesn't use any environmentally harming gases to discharge gas. Spray lightly, 12 to 14 inches away. Then leave the leather to air dry, or for faster results you can use a hairdryer. Let's do a test to see the difference. Here we have oil. What a mess. On the other hand, where the leather is protected, the oil is beading up. Here is regular water. The water's having some beading effect, but if you look, you can see that it's already starting to darken. Which would you rather have? Pull-up leathers mean that you have a lighter colour on the back side of the leather, and when they are pulled or tugged, that colour comes to the front side. Pull-up Revive is a specialised product suitable for both oil and wax pull-ups. Now here we've got some common things that can happen inside a furniture store. Here's where someone has rubbed fingernail scratches. Here someone has rubbed high on the leather. Here we've got a rub where the leather was going maybe through a doorway and it scraped some of the colour off the surface. Now these look like they can be very difficult to fix, but they're actually quite easy. All you need is Pull-Up Revive, a cloth and a hairdryer. We're going to take